Good morning. When you would like.
Good morning. Let's begin day 4. So today morning, after the report of the co-chairs and facilitators of different groups, just for you to know, we're going to take up a pending issue on extensions, then credentials, then we're going to update you on CRPs. First is the Mercury and Cumming Montreal Global Diversity Framework, then Mercury Supply Sources and Trade, then we're going to go to venue and date of the 7th meeting of the COP, international cooperation and coordination, national reporting. These are all the pending issues we have, plus we have these, this decision, or the follow-up on decision 515 that we need also to tackle before we suspend plenary. So first, I would like to hear the reports of the co-chairs. I would like to begin with any of the co-chairs of the contact group on technical matters. David.
Good morning, colleagues, and thank you very much, Mr. President. I make this report on my behalf and on behalf of my co-chair, Claudia. The contact group continued its work on the 3, and we met between 19 and 21 hours. The group began its work by reviewing or revisiting the draft text on VCM. Unfortunately, the group was unable to reach agreement on the issue of whether non-mercury alternatives to mercury-based catalysts are technically and economically viable. There was considerable discussion on this issue, but there was no convergence. The group explored the implications of supply of mercury from primary mining with the goal of identifying a possible phase-out. However, although it was apparent that the issue is not one of possibility, but rather is an issue of timing, it was not possible to agree on a date. The meeting was adjourned at 21 hours. The co-chairs are grateful to the contact group for their continued spirit of cooperation and flexibility. Would like to encourage all the delegates to continue engaging each other in order to reach a good outcome when the group reconvenes. We're in your hands, Mr. President, to when we can meet again to further the discussions and hopefully finalize the outstanding issues. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, David. We are conscious that you need more time to finish the deliberations, and we have allocated time tonight from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in room A. Now let's go to the report on the contact group on artisanal and small-scale gold mining. Rachel?
Thank you, Mr. President. The contact group on artisanal and small-scale gold mining met for the second time on Wednesday evening from 8:15 p.m. to 10:15 p.m. The group completed the first reading of the text. Very good progress has been achieved with partial clearance of the text in both preambular and operative parts of the document. The current version of the document is available on the Contact Groups tab of the COP6 webpage. Several substantive issues do remain to be resolved, including those on the scope of the decision, including artisanal and small-scale gold mining, as opposed to gold mining and processing, in which mercury amalgamation is used to extract gold from ore, capacity building and the GEF, a digital platform for progress reports and submission of national action plans, and measures related to traceability and sustainability of gold supply chains. In the positive and constructive spirit that is characteristic of this group, parties have been consulting bilaterally to further clean the text. The Contact Group co-chairs respectfully request, Mr. President, that we will require another time slot to address these remaining issues, but are confident that the group will be able to do so. We are in your hands.
Thank you very much, Rachel. We are also conscious that you need more time to finish. We congratulate the group on advancing their work, and we have allocated for your group to meet at 4 p.m. for 2 hours in room B. I would like to turn now to one of the co-chairs of the contact group on budget, the Netherlands.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Dear delegates, the contact group met yesterday from 1 to 3 and 4 to 6 p.m. The group already had a second reading on the draft decision in which some text from the first reading could already be cleaned. Further discussion took place on a huddle on the potential use of the trust fund balance and the budget scenarios, with the inclusion of a reference to cost-saving measures to be considered to be prepared for the 2028-2029 biennium. The outcome of these deliberations have been shared to the intranet. The group also continued to work activity by activity on the budget table, for which the first numbers were moved from the budget proposal into the draft outcomes side of the budget table. Further discussions will be required on the staffing as well as on the 7th meeting of the Conference of the Parties. Overall, we made good progress, but we will need some more time to finalize the draft decision today and continue further activity by activity examination of the budget table. Moreover, we will also continue to review the budgetary implications of programmatic decisions. The atmosphere in the contact group is positive and constructive, for which my co-chair and I commend the participating delegates. This provides a good ground for further deliberations throughout the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evelyn, for that report. The contact group on budget will meet again in room 4 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and in the same room from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So now I have the report of the facilitator of the Indigenous Peoples Group. Paulina, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. The small group met between 6:20 p.m. to 8 p.m. The mandate of the group was to further develop amendments to the draft decision in document 17, taking into account the comments expressed in plenary, and try to prepare a CRP for the consideration of the plenary. The small group did a full reading of document 6/17. Two parties shared draft text to document 6/17 and shared the rationale for the proposed text. The small group compared document 6/17 with the proposed text in parallel. We collected feedback from the room and additional input from the parties that were present in the small group. The small group had constructive discussions on the text, with several parties and indigenous representatives proposing edits to the text of the draft decision, including preambular and operative paragraphs. The work has not been concluded, so we request, Mr. President, time to fulfill our mission, but we're confident that we are advancing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paulina. We are allocating time for the small group on indigenous peoples from noon today to 1 p.m., 1 hour, and I would hope that you can conclude your consultations at that time in room 9, which is the bureau room. Thank you very much. Let's hear from Eva, the facilitator of the group Friends of the President on Legal Matters. Eva?
Back from the group of the Friends of the President. We have made a significant progress. We are mostly done. There is one remaining paragraph which needs to be discussed further, and we believe that thanks to the flexibility and cooperative spirit of the parties, we will solve this issue today. Thank you.
Thank you. So from what I heard, you would need some more time. I didn't foresee that, so I guess the only time that we can propose for that group to meet, but please check with the screens, but I believe you will have to overlap with the contact group on technical matters that is going to meet after the plenary session in the evening, which begins at 6 p.m. So we will post it on the screens, but most likely will be that your group will meet at 6 p.m. So that concludes the reports of the contact groups. I want to begin plenary this morning with item 4B, little Roman 4, which is extension of exemptions. We've been dealing with this issue during the week. And in order to get a solution today, I will propose to plenary that we move along the conversations that these three parties have had with a group discussion, an informal group discussion that is going to be led by myself. This is going to take place at lunchtime from 1 to 3, and I have requested the Secretariat to send an email to the Bureau members requesting 3 delegates per region to participate in this informal group that is going to meet at 1 o'clock in the Bureau room. That is room 9. Do you agree with that path forward? I see no objection, so we will proceed that way. Please send your nominations to the Secretariat before 1 p.m. We also would like to propose another informal group. This one is smaller than the one that I just proposed. This is on the gender plan of action, or the follow-up to decision 515. So we're going to meet right after we suspend plenary in the morning, and I will tell you exactly the room. Just wanted to announce it so the parties involved can be ready. And those are Argentina, the EU, Norway, the UK, and the US. Let's go now to credentials. So this is agenda item 2D, and you will recall that this item was considered on the first day of this meeting. At that time, we agreed on process, schedule, and approach for the preparation on the report on the credentials of the representatives. You will recall that the Bureau constituting the Credentials Committee agreed to monitor the submission of credentials, which were due by November 4th, and to present to plenary on Thursday the 6th with its report. COP6 will subsequently be invited to consider adoption of the report on credentials. I will now invite Rachel Burgess, the chair of the Credentials Committee and member of the Bureau, to read the report on this issue. Rachel, once again, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. The representatives of 135 parties have been registered to participate in the 6th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Minamata Convention on Mercury in Geneva, Switzerland, and are present at the current meeting. In total, 121 parties submitted credentials of their respective representatives, which were issued by the head of state or government or the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and were therefore found to be in order. 102 of these credentials were originals, while 19 were copies, which were accepted with the understanding that originals will be submitted as soon as possible. The following 14 parties did not submit credentials for their representatives: Cameroon, Comoros, Republic of the Congo, Djibouti, Kingdom of Eswatini, Guinea, Lebanon, Malawi, Portugal, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, and Zimbabwe. These 14 parties are therefore participating as observers in the 6th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Minamata Convention on Mercury, and will be recorded as such in the report of the meeting and the list of participants. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much to the chair of the Credentials Committee. I will now invite the COP to proceed with the adoption of the report on credentials to the 6th meeting of the Conference of the Parties, as was just presented. Are there any objections to the adoption of the report? I see no objections. The report is thus adopted. Before we continue, let me announce one more group that is going to meet this morning. This is the group on cosmetics. They're working on the CRP that was submitted by Gabon. This meeting is going to begin working at 11:30 to 1 p.m. in room B. And then we have another group, this time on waste. This is the group that is led by Japan on the CRP they have submitted. This is going to begin working as of now until noontime, and the room allocated is room A. So So we have now to go back to item 4L. Item 4L is Mercury and the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, and to take a decision on CRP 10. This is a revised CRP after the comments that we received from two parties. This item has been uploaded to the website, and hopefully you had the time to revise it. This is a draft that was based on document 6/20 and contains a roadmap for enhancing co-benefits from implementation of the Minamata Convention and the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. We also received a small amendment from the EU, so we will move to decision mode right now. Is the COP ready to adopt the CRP 10 as revised? I see no objection. The decision is adopted. Let's move on now to item 4A, Mercury Supply Sources and Trade, Mercury Compounds. CRP2, the original CRP submitted by Canada, was revised. I want to thank parties who worked together to come to a new text on which they all agree. It is presented now as CRP 9. So CRP2 has become CRP 9 after the amendments, and is entitled Future Actions Regarding Trade in Mercury Compounds under Article 3 of the Minamata Convention on Mercury. So now we will proceed with the adoption of these CRP. Can we adopt the decision that is contained on CRP 9? I see no objections. It is so decided. Oh yeah, we forgot. We forgot. Let's move now to item 7. Venue and date of the 7th meeting of the Conference of the Parties. I would like to invite at this time the Secretariat to introduce the documents for venue and date of COP7.
Thank you, Mr. President. According to Rule 3 of the Rules of Procedure, the meetings of the Conference of the Parties shall take place at the seat of the Secretariat unless the Conference of the Parties decides otherwise or other appropriate arrangements are made by the Secretariat in consultation with the parties. The seat of the Secretariat of the Minamata Convention on Mercury is in Geneva, Switzerland. No offers to host the 7th meeting of the Conference of the Parties have been received by the Secretariat, and the Secretariat has tentatively booked the International Conference Center, this location here in Geneva, for the period from 14 to 18 June to 2027, with preparatory meetings to be held on the 13th June 2027. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Secretariat. The floor is open for interventions on this agenda item. The European Union.
Thank you, Mr. President. The European Union and its member states support the draft decision, but propose to add an additional paragraph to facilitate the preparation of a high-level segment, and I will be willing to read out the proposal to add a new paragraph to this decision if you will allow me.
If it's short, please go ahead.
I promise it is very short. The para would read, further decides that there will be a high-level segment of a duration of no more than 1 day. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. The United States, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to the EU for the suggestion. While the United States understands that a high-level segment can be very useful in bringing high-level attention to the Minamata Convention and the importance of our work, we think that in these times where our budgets are so constrained that we need to focus on what is necessary for implementing the convention, and therefore we would not support having a high-level segment and would not agree to the suggestion from the EU. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other interventions? Norway, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Norway would support the proposal from the EU. We usually have high-level segments every 4th year, and we would support having one also at some point during the next biennium. We agree with the United States that we do face budgetary challenges. This is something that we believe could be addressed in the contact group on programming work and budget, and look at how there are different alternatives to save costs when organizing a high-level segment. We do note that the BRS conventions organized a high-level segment in the margins of Stockholm plus 50, for example, thereby saving a lot of money and avoiding flying ministers in or high-level representatives in just for 1 day. Similar options could be explored also for a high-level segment in relation to the next COP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Norway. Any other party would like to take the floor? Would the plenary agree that the group on program on work and budget have a preliminary discussion, or let's say a discussion, on the high-level segment in order to reach a conclusion? I'm seeing no objection from the parties to this proposal. So in order to arrive to a consensus on this issue, from what we heard from these 3 parties, we will task the group on program on work and budget to have a discussion on the issue of having or not having, as well as if they choose to have one, on the numbers to held a high-level segment at COP7 or at any other fora that they deem convenient. Is that a good path forward? I see no objection. So this is the way forward. Thank you very much. Let's go now to CRP 13. This is on item 5, international cooperation and coordination. So now we will try to adopt this decision that has been uploaded to the website. Can we adopt decision contained in CRP 13 on international cooperation and coordination? I see no objections. It is so decided. Let's turn to CRP 12. CRP 12 is also up on the website. This one is based on document 6/15 on national reporting. Is the COP ready to adopt draft decision contained in CRP 12? I see no objection. It is so decided. So it's time to suspend the morning plenary. We will now devote ourselves to some issues that are being pending so we can continue adopting draft decisions in this fashion. Now I would like to invite those parties that I mentioned before to my office in the second floor is B211, and those parties are Argentina, the EU, Norway, the UK, and the US. And then at 1 o'clock, once again, we're going to meet in the Bureau room for a conversation on extensions. And then you have to nominate 3 delegates from every UN region to participate with Bangladesh, India, and Thailand. So this is for me. We suspend plenary. Please be attentive to the screens so we can advise you when we're going to resume and adopt the decisions that are pending. Thank you very much, and see you in a bit.